Hey everybody, Craig Egan here with my lovely assistant Sharon. Hi. And we are in Lansing, Michigan. We're just going to give a quick recap of what happened in Daytona. Dayton?
Wait, I think Daytona is the racetrack.
Daytona is the racetrack.
I don't know anything about racing.
Yeah. So we were in Dayton, Ohio, and they were set up at we were looking for the Vaxxed bus. They had scheduled to be at a chiropractic clinic. And they had actually tried to find a different location to be at the last minute, but they couldn't find one. So they decided to go ahead and go forward in the chiropractic parking lot, which was in a strip mall that had a bunch of different stuff. Schlotsky's, some toy store.
An ice cream shop right next door.
A nice ice cream shop right next door. So they got set up. We showed up. And immediately we talked to someone from the media. There was someone from the television news who was interviewing the Vaxxed people. They interviewed us as well. It was so on the outcome of that news report. A lot of times those are really fall into the false equivalency, but it is what it is. I'm glad we got our voice in there.
Yeah. They had like a private group that we still aren't sure exactly how it happened. Promise we had nothing to do with it. But their group went public. And we were able to see a lot of their posts. They had given every single number for every media contact in the area. So that was cool because I didn't have to look for any of that.
Yeah. Pro tip, if you're going to make a private event group or have a private group to discuss your secret tactics, don't accidentally make it public. That actually will backfire.
Yeah. But yeah, so we saw a lot of them talking about wanting to move to a private location, all that. But the one comment in particular that I found really fun was when talking about all the media, a person commented, well, we're going to be the only voice they're going to hear. Yeah. So let's make it loud.
So let's make it loud. Well, I showed up and got my voice in there too, so that's what you get. So we showed up to the parking lot. We had our little protest signs. We talked to the media. And then a woman who claimed to be the owner of the shopping complex came over and told us that we were allowed to be there, but we were not allowed to have protest signs.
Yeah, she said it was an insurance issue.
Yeah, she said the terms of her insurance specifically said no people with protest signs or something. I don't know. I didn't read the bylaws.
It wasn't worth fighting with her.
It wasn't worth fighting with her. I took her word for it. But it really kind of, even though we couldn't have our protest signs, it really showed that they didn't consider us a threat enough to kick us off the property. Nobody was threatened, even though a recent Age of Autism article about us said that we had violently threatened them. That's not really our gig.
Yeah, we still had people, offering us water. We still had people walking up to us,
yeah,
we're not scary.
Yeah, the Vaxxed people, while they probably wish we weren't there, they made no attempt to get rid of us, no attempt to tell us to leave, no attempt to tell anybody else to make us leave. So that is what it is. So then we were sitting there, and what I had done was, and I really should have done this at an earlier stop, but better late than never, I came up with a list. Well, I didn't come up with it. I went online to the absolute craziest, most batshit conspiracy theory website I could possibly find. Many of you know it. It's called whale.to, and there you can learn not only about the dangers of vaccines, but you can learn about satanic conspiracies, probably Bigfoot. You can learn about how Hitler was a secret British agent. You can learn about the telepathic dolphins that helped in World War II. You can learn about literally every single conspiracy theory on the planet, no matter how far-flung. This guy believes all of them. So I've decided his list of vaccine injuries was going to be my definitive list. And I came up, it's hard to see on here, but I came up with a really long list of what he claims to be vaccine injuries. Some of the things that are on here are ones that you would assume. Autism is definitely on there. SIDS is definitely on there. Scoliosis is on there. Spanish flu is on there. Hair loss is on this. So
there was a bald chiropractor.
I wanted to see if he considered hair loss to be a vaccine injury. Didn't get a chance to talk to him. Violent behavior. This is something that, of course, many of us would deem ridiculous, but Sherry Tenpenny once blamed school shootings on an over-vaccinated population, so it's not that far-fetched that anti-vaxxers would claim that violent behavior was actually the results of vaccination. Cancer, of course, is on here. cysts, diabetes, Down syndrome, eczema, lupus. I added lycanthropy. That's the only joke one on here. I wanted to see if anybody would notice that I added turning into a werewolf on a list of vaccine injuries. Nobody actually gave our list that much attention, so I can't really hold it to them that they didn't spot it. The only person we really talked to in depth kind of about this was Anu. Now, I came up to Anu, I asked him if he would take a look at my list, and I asked him if there was anything on this list where if somebody came up and said, vaccines caused this in my child, vaccines caused this in myself, I want to put my name on your Vaxxed bus. Is there anything on the list that you would say, okay man, I hate vaccines as much as the next conspiracy guy, but that's ridiculous. I'm not going to put your name on the bus because you claim that vaccines caused hair loss, right? He got a little agitated with me. And he was like, Craig, we've had this discussion 3 times. And that's fair. I have asked him multiple times if there was ever a vaccine claim that he doubted, if there was ever a vaccine claim that he said, no, that's not going on the bus. But I never actually came up with a full list because he couldn't give me one. I'd asked him and other people many times how many different claims are on that bus. I know autism's on there. I'm guessing SIDS is on there. I'm guessing asthma, allergies, diabetes are all on there. How many different kinds of claims are on that bus? Nobody can tell me. So that's why I came up with the list, maybe working backwards. Here's a list I came up with. Why don't you tell me what you wouldn't put on the bus? And he refused. He says, it's not his place to question any of these claims or determine whether they're true or even possible or probable.
So basically what he's saying is it's not his place to do any sort of science.
No, it's not his place to do it. No.
He's not doing a study. He's just listening.
Right, and so, and really, he's just getting paid. He doesn't care. He doesn't care if these claims are true. He doesn't care if people are scaring people out of vaccines for no good reason because they're coming up with these bullshit stories. He doesn't care. He's getting paid. It doesn't matter to him. So while I can't really say that, I don't think it's fair to say Anu specifically says vaccines can cause hair loss or vaccines can cause all of these things. He certainly didn't want to deny it either.
It's not his place.
And it's not his place. So I didn't get a chance to talk to any of the other vaxxed people. I didn't get a chance to talk to Polly. I didn't get a chance to talk to Del Bigtree or Andrew Wakefield, who wasn't there, or Del Bigtree wasn't there. That's fine, but I'm going to give them all a chance, if you want, to come forward. I'm going to take this list and I'm going to put it on my Facebook page, Embarrassed Cousins of Proud Parents of Unvaccinated Children. And if anybody in the Vaxxed team wants to come onto my page and say, okay, I hate vaccines, I think vaccines cause all of this damage, but okay, I'll admit that one claim is ridiculous, we wouldn't put that on the bus. Please, I implore you, come check it out. Come check out the list.
It'll be a win on both sides because it proves that y'all don't believe everything you hear. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, we're just happy to hear that you don't believe everything you hear.
Right, we can find some common ground. We can say, we can all agree that vaccines don't cause this, right? I doubt it. So that was the Dayton stop in a nutshell. After,
well, we had more conversation in Dayton.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So that was our discussion on this particularly. We also there's a couple other things.
Anu hopped into an Uber, drove off into the distance.
Right, and that's fine.
And that's it. He was gone.
Yeah, told me I couldn't debate as well as an 8th grader, and that's fine. I haven't ever tried to really debate him because he just says some bullshit. I try to answer, he talks over me. It's not really much of a debate. If he wanted to, I'll tell you this, Anu, if you ever want to actually have a debate, we'll go find some unaffiliated, objective, high school debate coach who will be a moderator, and will sit there and give me 3 minutes and give you 3 minutes, allow us both to speak, allow us both to make our case, and to assess our debate skills independently. I'm happy to take that challenge, but arguing with you in the middle of a parking lot isn't a debate, so I'm not going to take that. So we talked to a couple other gentlemen.
Yeah, they were from Ohio, something with an A, Advocates for Medical Freedom, or
Medical Freedom.
Something self-righteous like that.
Yeah, right? And so the first guy was very nice.
He was really, really nice, and he also was really open to logic. He was open to really discussing things with nuance rather than with some set idea in his head that everything was vaccines. I mean, he would come up to me, he would come to me with a claim, and I would say, well, is it possible that this? And he would say, yeah, maybe that is possible, which is very different from the guy you were talking to. We were talking to two separate people at the same time.
Yeah. The very nice guy came up and was speaking to us, and then a second man who was not quite as nice came up, and we ended up having like two parallel conversations right there next to each other that sort of overlapped.
We were this close to each other.
Sitting on a bench in front of a chiropractor's office. The second guy, he was more like, tell me what's in vaccines. And I was like, well, there's a lot of... You don't know, do you? I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, but there's different vaccines. There's a lot... Well, what are you getting at? And he's like, mercury! Mercury! I'm like, well, there's not mercury in vaccines. Oh, you don't think there's mercury in vaccines? I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, hold on, buddy. We're not even... He started yelling over me. And at one point, he was like, do you have a child with autism? I was like, well, I don't think... Then you can't talk.
Yeah.
You don't have any word in this if you don't have a child with autism. I'm like, well... That's irrelevant, and I might, maybe I just don't want to tell you that, but what is that? Oh, so he just started yelling over me, and that's kind of where we...
Yeah, I told him to stop yelling.
Took a breath.
I was like, you know what? I don't care. If I didn't say to stop yelling. I said stop yelling about autism like it's an extremely negative thing. He said, I'm not. I said, yes, you are. And he said, well, I'm not yelling at you.
Well, he's yelling at me.
You're yelling about autism being the most negative thing in the world. Like, I don't want to hear it. Don't stand right next to my ear screaming about it. I'm not doing it. And so then he started getting people from inside who were like, hey, this little bitch is gonna knock you down, you better come in.
Right.
And
people
so
kind of pulled him away.
So he started, as he was walking away, he was saying to me, well, why do you think it's 1 in 50? Why do you think it's 1 in 50 now? And I was like, well, I think it's entirely possible that a lot of these people were treated very poorly, that they didn't survive into their teenage years. A lot of them maybe didn't survive infancy. A lot of them were institutionalized. I think that these numbers could be swayed by a lot of different things. And he said, no, I want a cause. I said, I'm giving you what I think the reason is. He said, no, what's the cause?
Right. I want an answer.
And then he walked inside.
Right.
Because he wasn't getting anywhere.
Yes. So after those two fine gentlemen, we were sitting there without our signs. Nobody else really wanted to talk to us. I had my list. Nobody wanted to really come and discuss my list with us. So we decided just to, to fade out. Yeah. But there was one other thing that Anu brought up. And I probably didn't handle it as well as I should have.
You did not.
She agrees that I didn't handle it as well as I should have, so I want to address it now. And this one's hard for me, but I think it's the right thing to say. So, in the middle of our heated exchange with Anu, he told me the one thing that upset him about me was my use of the word namaste in my videos, in my podcasts, and really everywhere. Because I'm a...
It's a thing.
It's a thing. I'm a namaste, or I have been a...
Before you liked me in any way, you added me to be mean to me with a fake profile with Namaste as the profile picture.
Yeah, so I've been using this one as a lot. And so if we can maybe go back to the roots of this, not the original roots of the word, but the the roots of my usage of it, was a very hilarious article, a comedy article called Surviving Whole Foods, where a lady talked about her horrific adventure venturing into a Whole Foods and almost getting run over in the parking lot by an asshole in a silent Prius with a Namaste bumper sticker on it. And then I believe at another point someone being rude to her, and this person had a Namaste baseball cap on, and she concluded that Namaste was probably Sanskrit for go fuck yourself. And I thought that was hilarious, and it really kind of touched me in a way. It really resonated because you see a lot of people who online especially, who are absolutely horrific people, will say horrible things to you. They'll say, oh, I hope your child dies of 1 million vaccines and this toxic sludge you shove into your children's veins, and I hope you all burn in hell. Namaste, or love and light, or some other hippy-dippy word or phrase to close out what was otherwise a vitriolic rant. So I kind of took that on as myself. Namaste kind of being a tongue-in-cheek joke at the people who use it incorrectly. But
you ended up contributing.
But I ended up contributing. Yeah, and there's a fine line between inappropriate appropriation and making fun of inappropriate appropriation, where you just become inappropriately appropriating yourself. So Anu told me that as a person of Indian heritage, that he was personally offended at my use of Namaste. I believe I told him to go fuck himself or something close, because we were in the middle of a heated argument, and I thought he was being disingenuous, and I thought he was baiting me, and he may have been, but going back, talking about it with my more woke girlfriend, he was right and I was wrong, and so as much as it pains me, I want to be more sensitive to these issues. There are many, many problematic words that I grew up using that I had to ditch, probably ableist words that were racist that I didn't realize they were racist. Lots of language that we're coming to learn isn't cool. So I'm giving up Namaste. Not for a new, but also kind of for a new. For everybody who may be offended at it, either in a trumped up accusation or genuinely and sincerely. That one's going to go away. So love and light, I guess, to everybody.
Remember the bourgeoisie.
Remember the bourgeoisie was one.
I'm Russian, so I can say that.
Yeah, Anu said remember the bourgeoisie. We might want to, I don't know how the Russians feel about that, but that's neither here nor there. I'm not trying to conflate issues. I'm not trying to...
No.
I'm not trying to...
No, Russian people are not not an oppressed class. So.
Yeah, not by Anu, for sure.
So we're... Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Genuinely, Namaste, going away.
Yeah, R.I.P. Namaste. Love and light, I guess. That's the same joke, really.
Meet me at Whole Foods.
Meet me at Whole Foods. We'll go have some tofu, which I love. We'll go have some kombucha, which... and we'll say love and light to each other. And eat gluten-free veggie jerky. That'll be great. So anyway, we're here in Lansing, Michigan. Lansing, Michigan now?
We're somewhere
close.
by there.
We're real close to Lansing, Michigan.
We're somewhere better than Lansing, but we're close enough.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you exactly where we are. But it looks like this is another city where they've gone into hiding.
Yeah, I was able to find cached pages from like Michigan Medical Freedom and stuff like that, where they did previously advertise that they were going to be at a place called Patriarch Park.
Mm-hmm. We called the park department. They said they canceled.
Yeah, the park department said that they were trying to get a permit and that they're not anymore. That they canceled their event. So I mean, we're still gonna go see if they're there because they're sneaky.
Yeah, they're sneaky. We'll go to the park, make sure they didn't show up without a permit. But they just may be in hiding today, and that's fine. We're probably really close to a very big surprise.
Oh yeah!
We got a very big surprise coming up finally.
Ugh.
Yeah. Wait the weekend out. You're gonna see some awesomeness.
Yeah, actually, a couple of awesome things are happening next week.
Yeah,
So.
We got a couple of grand finale surprises coming your way. We're really excited about that. But I will be publishing my list of vaccine reactions as per whale.to. And if anybody from the Vaxxed team wants to stop by the page and admit that at least one of these, come on, at least one of these is ridiculous. And if somebody came up claiming, if you didn't know me and said, I got a vaccine, I got a flu shot and my hair fell out, I want to put my name on the bus, you would say, no, that's fucking ridiculous. So.
And you would win.
And you'd win! Yeah, come on, it'll be great. So there's some real low-hanging fruit on here. I'll take lycanthropy off because we don't need to go there.
Nah, y'all already know. So
yeah. So until then, we'll see you soon. Love and light, peace be unto you.
Remember the bourgeoisie.
And remember the bourgeoisie. That's right. Remember the bourgeoisie. Take it easy.